Welcome back for another episode of the Pickup Pod. It's me, your host, Cedric. Here are my usuals. Here with Vondi. Here with Ben. And why are you... That's my job.
Wait your turn.
Are you talking to me?
Yeah.
Address me as my name. Hi, I'm Beyonce. Nice to meet you.
Anyways.
I'm Sean.
Yeah, this is my man, Sean. Where you from, Sean?
PG County.
I'm from Montgomery County.
Literally, wait your turn. Gosh. Who brought her? Ben has a question for us like usual, so I'm going to hand the floor over to him.
All right. So my question of this week would be, how would you go about letting go of a partnership or relationship with another person?
Oh, how would you break up with somebody? Is that your question?
Yeah, I was basically, how would you go about letting go of that person?
Yeah.
Like, what would the steps?
Wait, have you already broken up or no?
No. If you like, this joint is not working out in my head, I'm gonna like do this stuff so I can be like, yeah, we done.
I feel like it depends how long the relationship was.
It doesn't. I feel you just gotta say what it is.
You just gonna cut it off right now?
Nah, no, I'm not saying. But if you're gonna cut it off regardless, if your intention is to cut it off regardless, I feel like you should cut it off.
Just be direct with them. You want to sit them down in person and talk it out. Like, I don't think this is working, because when you think about breaking up with them, at this point, you've already mentally checked out the relationship.
Both sides probably have reasons already to not be together. If it's like at the point where like, you're thinking about breaking up, it can't just be a one-sided thing. Like, oh, like I'm so unhappy and they're happy. That's almost never. It can be.
I was about to say there are times where people are like blindsided by it. Like, oh, I thought the relationship was going so good.
But that's probably them not just like being aware.
But I think everybody has different pet peeves and levels of tolerances. So maybe one person was doing something, the other person didn't like it. But the one person, they think everything's fine. But the other person slowly detaching from the idea of the relationship. They're mentally checking out.
See, that
Don't
point,
you think that's toxic?
No, I was gonna say at that point it's like kind of like it's both sides at fault, because like if you don't like this thing and you're just mentally checking yourself out and not saying anything to the person, that's being a bad.
I mean, it's being passive aggressive.
That's not lack of communication.
Yeah, but it's like a passive aggressive thing, because like you're not saying something because you're kind of mad at what they did and you just want to pout and be like, I'm just like detach. I'm gonna just let go. It's a immaturity thing. But I feel like a lot of guys do that, though, when it's like...
Ugh, disgusting.
Yeah, it's not disgusting. It's just like... Sometimes, you know, it feels easier to not talk to a woman than it feels to just direct it at her, because I feel like sometimes women can't take that type of honesty.
I feel like in a unity, in a union, in a relationship...
in a marriage?
In a relationship, whatever it is, you have to communicate. And
obviously, yeah.
So clearly this is a childish relationship that we're talking about, or whatever you want to have.
Most
whatever you
are.
have. I mean, so that's why I think that that's just toxic. But if you both came to the terms like, okay, we can't be in a relationship anymore, it's not working out, I feel like you come to that agreement, that consensus, and then I don't think you should communicate anymore. Actually, it's funny because I was having a conversation with one of my friends the other day about that. If it's okay to still if it's okay to still be if it's okay to still be in contact with someone that you were in a relationship, like still be friends.
You know what you're doing.
Still be friends with them.
You can
like if it's okay
basically if you should still text your ex.
Yeah,
women love to do that, bro.
Bro, there's no having a relationship after
like
that.
You know what you're doing.
Yeah,
I feel like they know what they're doing. It's just like trying to find a loophole in the contract. Like, I mean, I could just text them, "How's your day?" What's wrong with that?
I don't know if women do it. I just think that people do it.
I would say when it's a guy, he's probably
like,
just trying to fuck again. But if it's a girl, she kind of wants the attention.
Because what if she doesn't let you break up? Because that's like
what?
No, there's been situations
like
where
holding you hostage.
Like one person's like trying to break up, and the other person is just like, no,
I can
like,
see a girl not being able to break up.
And it's like you like that person, so it's hard to just like stonewall them. You know what I mean?
Like, how could a woman necessarily
hold you hostage?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Like maybe you like this person, but you realize that you might not be good for each other, and like you're trying to put some distance, and they're just like, nah, I like things the way that it is. So they're like still like texting you and this and this and that. And obviously, like if you have strong feelings for this person and like you're trying to put that distance, it'll be hard unless it's two sides working together to like be amicable with the situation and be like, okay, we're not at this level in the relationship no more, so we probably shouldn't be talking this much or seeing each other. So that person just like continues on with like being in your vicinity and stuff like that. It makes it hard to put that distance if they don't give you the space to create that distance.
So you're saying like after y'all like decide, oh, you're gonna break up, or like oh, like we're so cool, you can still hit me up, or like, you know, try to keep your distance, but they're still like texting you every day.
Yeah, like my friend back in the day, he tried to break up with his girl. Real life just said no, and like kept showing up to his house, and like, you know, she's like,
I mean, that's a restraining order type thing. It's like you're actually breaking boundaries, you know. That's
what he said. Like, how do you break up with somebody? So
I think with stuff like that, the relationship be so long sometimes.
Exactly, you don't know what to do with yourself.
And also, a lot of people don't like change because if you leave a relationship now, you back being single. It's a feeling you're not used to, especially if you've been in a relationship for a few years. And if you get into a new relationship, you have to get to know a new person, and it's sort of like you have to start over. And it's sort of the same thing in life. Nobody really likes change, so that's why a lot of people, they don't want to leave the relationship. They have the foundation already, so they just want to stay where they at.
I can't lie. My end all would be if the sex is ass. The sex is terrible. Yo, you gotta go.
That's so out of left field.
But can the sex improve though? Can
yeah.
Yo, if
but why are you
No. But first time, if the first time is ass, second time is ass, third time is ass, what makes you think the 15th time gonna be decent?
That's just like you met somebody, the sex was ass a few times, so you break them off.
Oh my
I thought we were talking about like hard to break relationships. Like if you're with somebody like 2-3 years, they don't want to let you go. They show up at your house. They're harassing you at your work.
That's just insane.
That's an extreme case.
Yeah.
No, but that's what you were saying. Like they just won't let you go.
Maybe not like all that, but yeah, it's like they don't want to like give it up. Like
what I'm saying is a lot more common than what you're saying.
Yeah, that shit was crazy. And even that is more than sex. I would also say you probably connected emotionally with this person at that point. A lot has to go down for her to be, you know, real close to you, stalking you. Or she's crazy.
The relationship is over the moment you think in your head it's over. And they might still be around you, might still be trying to get with you, like do relationship things with you, but it's not a relationship anymore. It's just, it's sort of just like someone leeching on you that won't let go. But it's not a relationship. They can't say they're your boyfriend or girlfriend. They can say it, but like it's not true.
So then the question is, what is your relationship deal breaker? What is like where you're saying this is over? I can't be on this.
Pistons fan.
Boy, shut up.
I think that's a green flag.
That's a
in
great
my
flag.
opinion.
No, I think a Jalen Durham fan is a green flag.
Anyway.
No. Let me explain that, because
Here you go.
I think if you're a fan of a sports team, right, and the sports team you're a fan of is garbage, that shows loyalty. Because you're going to be with them through the hard times.
That's what I'm saying.
Through the ups and downs.
Pistons, they enjoy being asked. Like, please rotate your
No,
but I do want to go back to what Beyonce said. What are you guys' deal breakers? I just said mine.
Which is sex?
If the sex is ass.
I feel like there's so many.
When you say if the sex is ass, then like the question is, how long into the relationship have you been before you start actually? Like,
I feel like at that point it's your fault. I'm not going to lie.
How is it? How?
Because if it was bad the first few times, you should have said something.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you say something and they actively make it,
how do you fix it? Like
that's what I'm saying.
You can fix it.
You can definitely
fix
teach somebody.
You can fix it. So today we're going to talk about flex culture because there's a real problem with it. Definitely makes people do things maybe they don't want to do or they feel like they have to do just to either fit in, to feel good about themselves. At some point, you know, it's got to stop. Like there's a lot of lying going on and people not being themselves, and it's just not good for our generation. I'm just gonna say that. What you think, Beyonce?
I feel like it's good and bad.
You think it's good to flex?
If you got it, is it really flexing? If it's like,
but that's different. I don't think that's flexing. For me,
that's not flexing.
When I say flex culture, I mean you're making it look like more than what it is because you want to fit a certain image. You want to seem like you have more than you have, so that people don't think you're like behind. Like people don't want to feel behind or left out. I really think it's FOMO that makes people do a lot of these things, in my opinion. What makes like our generation? What makes us feel cool? Sean, what makes you feel cool? Like, what do you think makes
you feel cool?
Makes people feel cool these days? Like, like going on trips?
Any sort of clout that gives you attention.
Yeah, but like, what gives you that clout?
Showing out, having nice things. Say I got a nice fit on. You put that shit on. You do this. You go on trips. Hey, why you always out the country? Why you got so much motion? I think that's what makes people feel cool. And then people will look at that and they'll be like, that's really cool.
People have always, had money or wanted to flex or done that. People have always done that throughout history. It's not like a new thing. It's just social media so you can see it now. you think we compete with each other like as like young adults? Like we're always like trying to like, is it competing or is it trying to like be like each other? What do you think it is?
I think it's everybody trying to like be on the same level when
that's what I'm saying.
It's not compatible with like how society is set up.
I feel like low key when you see somebody having something you don't have, it's like you hate and you want something better. Like,
but you only hate because you also don't have it. If you had it, you wouldn't hate them though.
He's saying you don't have it. That's crazy.
I'm not saying. No, I'm not saying that.
Personally. I got it like that, so I don't have to worry.
I really think it's like more so. It's not competing with like people outside. I think it's more competing with your peers. Like you wanna seem like you're more ahead in life than the person that's right next to you that you know. Like, so you're gonna do certain things. You're gonna show off certain stuff just to show that I've been to these places this many times, and you haven't. So I'm ahead of you. I'm ahead of you in life.
Especially for a case like that, you see somebody doing all those things. Now you feel like, oh, I'm bullshitting. I'm not doing. Why do I feel so behind? You start comparing yourself to this person. Even when you see people on social media, you might compare yourself to them. You might see somebody, say for example, you see somebody, roses in the hotel room, proposal, all that. And then
you're gonna be like, oh, I want that.
No, absolutely.
Yes. Some people do. Some people do.
Absolutely not.
Some people will be like, why can't you do that for me? Because some people will compare relationships.
Don't even get started with relationships and social media. That's a whole different.
In terms of like somebody see somebody with like a BMW, you're like, oh shoot, I don't want a BMW. I want something better than that. If you see something like that, or if you see somebody wearing like Louis shoes or something like that, okay, I want the Dior's, I want the Pradas. It's like, it's not, if you look crazy getting the same exact thing somebody else that you saw somebody else have. So you want something better or something different, but that's why I think it's competing. I don't think it's trying to get
I get you. I feel like for me, and this is just for me personally, I feel like where I get that mindset, I'm like, okay, I look at the people around me, like, my friends, my good friends, my people. I see how they're doing in life, and I'll be like, okay, like, am I slacking? I'll think about like, am I slacking? Am I like not doing good enough sometimes, I'll be like, okay, like, here's where they are in life, and I'm not there yet. So I'm just like, do I have an issue? Like, do I need to make up for something? I have to do something to prove to myself that like, I'm still where I need to be. I've been learning, you gotta be patient with yourself, and you gotta be very, giving yourself a lot of grace when it comes to success in life, where you want to be.
Yeah, I think people fail to understand that you have to run your own race. Everybody has different pathways to life. Some people may do things slower. Some people may do things faster. And also with the advent of social media, you see so many people's races, and you might see someone that's accelerating, maybe succeeding, maybe they have a lot of nice things, and you think, oh, I'm not going fast enough. And you're not thinking, okay, I just need to do my own thing. Right. Go at my own pace.
My thing is, I think people have different types of like how they like to flex. Also, in my eyes, when I see somebody with like say they got like a Mercedes, they just bought a Mercedes. I'm like, bro, that's not flexing. Like you got a car payment. My type of flexing that I would like to see in my eyes is like, oh, you sent your parents 10 bands. Like that's flexing. Like being able to like give back to the people around you and it not affect you. I feel like that's the real type of flexing that you can do.
But no one's gonna post that because it's not gonna give them the clout they want.
Exactly.
I mean, some people might post it.
Some people might,
but like it probably won't get that same traction.
It doesn't look
like that SRT look better than sending your mom wire your mother 10K.
And plus, when you send your people's money, like you probably don't even want to post about it just because like it's not really something you want to even flex.
It's genuine.
It's genuine, Based on what you guys have been saying with the whole like everyone wants to be in social economic status. We've been raised in a setting where it's like you have to have more than one hustle. You have to be getting money from an early age. If you want to just work a job, go home and like chill on the game, it's like they look at you like, okay, well, you could be doing this, you could be doing this, you could be upping your stats, you could be working 2 jobs right now. You know what I'm saying?
I kind of disagree though. Every generation, there's always been like some demographic that had to hustle. But I feel like
they have social media.
I mean, that's true, but like I don't want to say that we're the first generation where we have to hustle. Because like every generation has like a subset of people that just had to, to maybe change their situation. It's much more prominent now just because like there's much more exposure. So you can see more instances of that. But, maybe you're saying that there's a necessity for it just because of the inflation of like.
I'm not saying like we're the first. Nowadays. We're the first to have to hustle. It's like a popularized mentality. So it's like even if you don't have to hustle, you're well off or you're fine. Your family's fine, right? Mm-hmm. Or you're just a kid in school. If you're not hustling, you're made to feel like you're lazy. You're behind everyone else. Everyone else is going to have all this and you're not going to have it. Don't let, your want to be like that blind you from the fact of your reality, because people let it get so far that like they start making up lies.
I think it's because money revolves around everything. Everybody's so money hungry. Yeah. And that some of that ties into the economy. Everything's expensive. You feel like you need to have money.
There's been times where it's like that regardless.
No, because before it was like people were content into what they were on at a point, because before you could like, if you worked a regular job, you can buy a house, get a good car, have a couple kids. Mm-hmm. Now it's like everybody has to hustle to make the next dollar, or you're behind everybody else.
A degree isn't a degree anymore.
Yeah,
I think my main problem with hustle culture is people can't have hobbies anymore. People always look at it. I paint for fun. I make art. People might look at me and say,
"Can you draw me and I pay you?"
Yeah, they feel like if you're not selling that art for money, why the fuck you doing it?
Yeah, and that's the worst part.
Well, what I would say is it's really good. Like you should, kind of find a way to like monetize it.
You should monetize. So you think everyone should monetize anything they can do?
No, but if you're really good at it, I'm like, that's.
But when it comes to when you add money into the factor, some people might not find it funny anymore.
No, I've said I agree with that. I'm contradicting myself, but I agree with that too.
So you think like singers, right? You think they don't love singing?
I think they can lose a lot.
I think they used to love it.
That's a good point.
Some of the luster goes away over time.
I definitely think anyone in the entertainment industry, they definitely don't love what they do.
No.
Up and coming artists, I feel like they might have a lot of fun doing it, and maybe they start getting some notoriety or whatever, and then they can get invited out. But I'm willing to bet a good amount of money that after that first Diddy party, they're not really liking.
What you mean Diddy party?
Like if how so they be saying like people like get really big and they get invited out to these big like celebrity functions.
Oh, like that one Mike Rubin
party with the all white.
I'm not gonna lie, I gotta be there. I gotta be there next year. I gotta be there. Bro, we gotta be there.
I'm good.
We gotta be there, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Play at those functions. I'm cool off that.
That's why a lot of artists, their first album, a lot of times is like it's probably their best,
or most personal even.
They're their most personal because
they want it more.
They're in that mindset of like they're hungry. Mm-hmm. They're not doing it for the money. They're doing it for the love.
Kanye.
Let's not get into
there. We go, man.
I don't think any of his albums ever missed.
You can never keep a Kanye dick rider down, bro. Speaking of which, why are some people canceled and some people are not?
Some people just don't care.
Kanye some people have that. They have that you can't cancel.
The factor?
They have that.
I think talent plays a factor.
You think talent plays a factor?
Because like if you think about it, let's think about Gunna and Lil Baby, right? Mm-hmm. In terms of that, Lil Baby, I'm not gonna say either of them are canceled, but in terms of like exposure, notoriety, and popularity, you can see Lil Baby's trajectory is going downward because the music is like stagnant.
Yeah,
like it's not getting better
for sure.
But Gunna, on the other hand, he was like at a low point because he wasn't putting out music. At the moment he put out music, he right back to where he was before.
But he also changed a little.
No, I don't think he changed.
Because he did. Because didn't he he was in like a.
Well, I mean, he was in the Afrobeat, so he's in a few Afrobeats. But he didn't change. He's still Gunna.
It's just more. He's more adaptive now.
He has to collaborate. He has to collaborate with artists who he doesn't usually collaborate with because he was barred from a few certain artists. But at the end of the day, I feel like Gunna was not the first maybe, but he was one of the I think he's the biggest rapper ever to come back from like that whole snitching label.
I know what happened to 6ix9ine. Like, where's the fuck
that? He doing good with Spanish music.
Yeah. See, he's not even doing rap no more.
He's just.
But he's still doing. He found his lane and he's like in there.
But
it depends on the person.
It depends.
Like 6ix9ine, he's ugly and lame. But Gunna,
he's cute.
Tough.
He's cute.
He's tough.
You're trying to say he's cute? You're trying to say he's cute?
Listen, when he lost the weight, Gunna was.
But he was always better than Lil Baby. I will stand on that.
He's better than Lil Baby.
I don't think it really matters who was better.
I just think it does, and it was Gunna. But so to use like Gunna and 6ix9ine, they both got accused of snitching, but there was proof that 6ix9ine snitched. So there was like undeniable evidence that he did that. With Gunna, there wasn't. It was like inconclusive evidence. People just was like, oh, they said this and this and that, but without like a tangible source, like unless it came from Young Thug's mouth, then I'm not gonna like, you know, be like, oh, he snitched or whatever.
I feel you, but I think it wasn't even the fact that he like actually snitched. It's the fact that he didn't do the bid with Young Thug so far. Like, he left. Like he tapped out.
I think he just volunteered information. Like,
That's
even
so
if it was commonplace information that you could just go on Google and look up, like stuff that we all knew, then people got upset. But it's like,
That's how it is. That's how
I feel like they lead you into stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like, he even said in one of the songs, like, lawyers did some sneaky shit, and like, I'm not gonna fall.
He tried to take a plea deal, didn't he?
I think he did.
Yeah.
But it's just like I think they asked him like, "Yo, is YSL a gang? Whatever. Have you guys
said,
that
yeah.
gang?" He just
But
said yes.
The moment they say, "Oh, you took a plea deal," it's like that's it. That's where the line is drawn. It's like you tapped out.
Like,
the moment you say you tapped out,
whatever.
they're like, "Oh, you're not real. You have no credibility." But they couldn't deny him because of his talent. So I think Ben is right about the talent thing.
Yeah.
I have a question.
What's up?
Okay, so if you and someone like, let's say somebody that's like Lil Yachty or like Drake, and they're your friend.
They're
And
my friend.
They're your friend.
Like
you
Aubrey.
you have
Aubrey's
somebody,
my friend.
Aubrey's your friend, and there's somebody of like a very high
He got
stature.
very excited.
They have a very high stature or whatever, and you're in like a situation with them where cops are involved, and it's their fault. Like it's the person that's of a high stature. Like it's their fault. Like they have a gun on them.
This
or
sounds
they
like
have
the Kai
something-
Cenat thing.
I see where this is going.
Are you taking the charge for them?
What?
Grown man, he got.
Are you taking the charge for them? If it's your friend, and they're
I wouldn't take the charge for any of these boys.
okay, but it's like it's Drake or it's Kanye or something like that. Are you taking their charge? Like Playboy
Well,
Cardi.
what does them being? Are they gonna take me? Am I gonna be bailed out of jail the next day?
Well, they have more
Right.
to lose than you do technically.
No, but
That's
what
what
is?
that's what their thing is that they have more to lose.
No,
I mean-
I'm saying no. Fuck them.
Man, we got 2 eyes, 2 feet. That gun was on that nigga right there.
Him, literally.
No,
I
if you got pulled over and he's like, bro, take the gun, like take the charge. Are you taking the charge?
No, I'm gonna hop out the car and roll. I'm a like moving car, hop out, roll. I don't care.
Like, let's say you have to serve a year. Like he's
Serve
gonna,
a year
He's gonna look out for you after
of
that
my
year.
life.
wouldn't serve 2 hours.
A year in jail
Would I?
for a light skinned man? No,
Jail is crazy. A year is a long time.
a year is crazy. If it was like a day, if it was like a day,
No, it's a year.
Nah, I get what,
What
she
you trying to
said.
say?
She like imagine like it's Drake and it's 40. You're 40, and then like a cop pull you over. It's a gun in the car, and Drake like, I can't have this gun. Take it, 40. Are you going to take that?
Well, if he's telling me to take, that's kind of crazy because it's just like he kind of look out for himself and like he wants me to look out for him.
But like, if the cop's like, we gotta search your car, and there's a gun in the car, and you're like, oh, it's mine.
Yeah.
All right.
Are you gonna take
It depends on a lot of
I
things,
get it.
though.
If it's, but at that point we're like blood, so it's like yeah, I'll do it because like that's not my best friend at that point. That's my brother.
I feel like
I'm
that
not trying to go to
rappers in and of itself, they really popularized flex culture.
What year do y'all think hip hop became like that #1 genre over pop?
Over pop.
Like what year? You said when Michael Jackson died?
What?
2012.
2012.
I was gonna say 2016.
What happened?
I was in the late.
I was gonna say
I was
16.
gonna say 17.
Yeah,
16 or
16 or 17.
Like around that time, I feel like
16 into 17.
I feel like the most because before it'd be like no, but I definitely feel like with being canceled, right? I feel like we selectively choose who's canceled based on obviously like mentioned like talent, and at the same time,
What you did.
how much of a benefit is what they do.
No, you can try to cancel anybody, but the talent always shines above.
Yeah. Ooh, good example. Daniel Caesar. He
I was
said
just
that dumb
about to
shit.
bring him up
What did he
too.
I didn't hear shit about him since.
He-
I didn't even know he said
No,
something.
I remember
He just said
what
some
happened
dumb
was
shit.
I think he was talking to Yes Jules and he was like, you need to
Terrible
side with the
person.
winning team. He basically sided with white people.
Terrible.
He was like, you need to
person
get with
talk
the winning team. He was basically popping up white people and bringing down his own ways.
Yes
He got
Caesar?
Yes, Jules is bad.
This was
for
in like
business.
2018.
She's bad.
People were rocking with his music too, and then he was done. Nobody talked
I was
about
like,
it
what's
anymore.
that?
I still listen to his music because I didn't know.
Oh, Gold Link. Gold Link in the Mac Miller
What he
comments.
Oh, he dissed.
Oh, that was
He's
bad.
done.
So a year after
Yeah.
A year after Mac Miller
What?
died, Goldlink made a long post basically detailing about, rest in peace to you, bro, but You stole my flow, Divine Feminine. You stole my album cover. You stole ideas from me. This was a year after
I think he
died.
must have been really hurt then. He must have said the thing about it.
It was unnecessary. He basically was just like, yo, you jacked my flow, like you did all this, but rest in peace though.
Not saying that after someone died.
Come on,
that's
a year after someone died too.
He's not even tough. Like
it was such a shame because he made cool.
He got carried by fucking
But that is his song.
What was I gonna say? Yeah, bro. I just feel like being canceled is like such a not a stupid thing, but it's just like I feel like people don't really be real with it. They just be canceling, just like it'd be like fake outrage sometimes. You know what I'm saying? But to be fair, like what I'm trying to say is like, okay, you can have the talent, you can have the fan base, you can have whatever. I'm just saying, is it fair that like artists, just because you have talent, they're not canceled for the same thing someone without talent would be canceled for?
No, it's not fair.
Like it, like as a people, we should probably take more accountability and like, regardless of your talent, we're gonna cancel you if you're doing something wrong or not.
Yeah. But it's easier said than done.
It's easier said than done.
I was about to say, because at a point, you could be like, yeah, I'm not going to fuck with this artist no more. But then you hear that one song, that one new song, and go crazy.
But the question is, can you separate the artist?
Yes, you can.
Not always.
From their.
I think people try to do that.
They try to.
People, the talent, it doesn't shine enough.
Okay, well, yeah, in that case, then that's different. But like, I feel like you should do that for everyone. Like, if they're doing something wrong, it's like that's their personal life, but their craft is something completely different.
Like I'll be the first to say if I don't like a celebrity as a person, but it's like if I still like their song, it's like, it's hard for me to be like, oh yeah, I don't like this song, I don't want to listen to this song. It depends.
It's like that guy that shot Megan in the foot.
That guy.
Fuck that.
No,
fuck that guy.
Why?
That's what his name.
Why?
Because we're trying to erase him from history.
That's one of the times where people have not been able to separate the person from the artist.
It depends who you ask.
Can he come back from that though?
Yeah,
I feel like coming out, if he came out, if he wasn't in jail right now, I feel like he could come out.
If he wasn't in jail, yes. If he wasn't in jail.
The problem is he's in jail.
Like he's not coming back from that.
Some crimes are like unforgivable. Like if somebody they made some really good songs or whatever, but then it comes out that they have like 14 counts of sexual assault.
Like Trey Songz.
I don't like that nigga.
That's what I'm saying. Trey Songz is barred in any.
Some of them are just
like.
R. Kelly done so much. Or something so.
But you know who's not barred? Chris Brown. Chris Brown.
I was about to say Chris Brown.
Chris Brown is never barred.
He's so like Chris Brown's not canceled though, right? Like Chris Brown's good.
According to,
can they not grow from what they did?
No.
Everybody makes mistakes.
I mean, he hasn't grown.
He has a.
You're really defending him right now. You don't have to.
It depends on the mistake, you know.
You would think Chris Brown should be canceled because he has multiple
and he never
offenses. But then he pop a little dance move, and it's like, oh yeah, that's the Chris Brown we all know and love.
He's not learning from it.
But who are you to try to get them to learn?
Personally, I've never hit multiple women. I've never even hit one woman. So
yeah, if you hit one, you get put in nails for it. You're done for it. You do it again. You stalk another one gets a restraining order against you. There has to be something going on,
right? Multiple issues stemming for many years. Even
he fights people in the club. He assaults people.
Coke too, yeah.
He does coke. A lot of them go do coke, but as you can know about Diddy, they all do coke. Honestly,
he joins gangs in his 30s. Like,
no,
he popped that backflip. It's over.
All right, let's round this off with our round table. You like how I did that? Round this off with our round table.
Speak, bro.
Round table to round things off. We're each gonna like try to name somebody who we feel like in the media has been painted in a negative light. So I'll say for me, I'll say the Baltimore mayor. For anyone who doesn't know, recently there was a incident with the Key Bridge. It collapsed after a cargo ship, I believe, ran into it. And he did his best to get on the scene. It was like 2-3 a.m. It was really cold, windy night. He wasn't dressed in a suit and tie, so he was dressed a little casually, but he was dressed in still Baltimore, Baltimore City attire. And they tried to say he's an affirmative action mayor.
Yeah,
DEI. Like, they just tried to spew the most random racist insults at him for, like, saying he's a bad mayor, saying he hasn't done anything. And it's just, like, most of these people don't even, like, know what he's done. They don't do the research. They're just trying to say he's not good enough for his job. But it's just, like, if you know anything about DEI and affirmative action, that's not even how it works. You literally voted for him. To me, that was like just the most dumb thing I ever heard.
For me, I would say I don't know if they're painted in a negative light, but I'll say like if anybody's familiar with like Cody Shane, like the artist, she was she has like a couple features with like Uzi and like Trippie from like 2017 to 2019, and I think she's a really good artist. Like she's supposed to be like real up and coming. I think she was thinking with like Yachty and all them.
Mm-hmm.
But she was like fairly well known artist around that period and kind of dropped off the map just because I think she was messing like she was real close with like Trippie Redd and them.
Mm-hmm.
But then I think some situation happened where like Trippie ended up like taking her ex or something or like messing with like her ex girl or something, and that created a little bit of like bad blood between the two.
Mm-hmm.
And I think as a result there was like some behind the scenes blackball like stuff going on.
Mm-hmm.
And she hasn't really been heard from since. Like she realized just fell off like the map or the radar in terms of like popularity and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the quality of her music was really good, and I think she got done dirty in that situation. That one was just like I felt like that was really lame, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Because it's like this person was cool, like they didn't do anything that warranted like them to be dropped off the map like that. It was just because like someone else with maybe more stature or like more status
cool.
or something
Mm-hmm.
kind of decided, oh, like I did them wrong, but I don't want it to blow back on me, so I'm gonna get them out the way early type thing.
What you think, Beyonce?
Oh, what he just said?
No, just do you have anybody or do you think?
So I was thinking, I don't really have anyone currently that.
But you love a lot of cancelable people.
Yeah, but they were canceled for a good reason. Like, I would say Wendy Williams.
You like Wendy Williams?
I don't like Wendy Williams, but I would say what they're doing to her right now is wrong.
Can you give us context?
Like the fact that they have a whole Hulu thing going on where they're kind of showcasing like what she's going through and kind of profiting off of what she's going through. Like,
that's it.
I think that's crazy. And I know she's done a lot of wrong, but the fact that she's not aware of what's going on and what's happening to her and the people around her are profiting off of her kind of demise is crazy to me. So.
Yeah.
Dementia, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, profiting off of someone's like literal mental illness is
It's crazy. So yeah.
What's she saying?
Another thing. Y'all Twitter niggas need to stop slandering Big Sean, man. Let me tell y'all that. Cause I think he still got has good music. I think there's a lot of stuff. Y'all try to disrespect his line. The little line he had.
It's garbage.
Finally Famous, Hall of Fame, Dogs Got Paradise. His last album he dropped, Detroit 2, is actually still good.
Okay.
His new song not too bad. But people want to hate on Big Sean. They just want to go to the past and like, now that I think about it, he's ass. Yes. I think y'all just think it's trendy to hate on him.
No.
A lot of people do think it's trendy.
Facts.
I think his best verse ever was that verse he did on that Justin Bieber song, As Long As You Love Me.
I think what one person said about him is 100% true. He is the best out of the bad rappers.
Okay. I'll give you that.
I wouldn't say he's a bad rapper. I think he's just corny.
But he's not even corny. He's on that.
No, he be saying corny
Why
rhymes.
is his name Big Sean? He's not even big.
Impressive.
How would you know?
Whoa.
What do you mean by that?
Like, you never met him in person.
You can see it. He's tiny.
I mean, I think he's still taller than you.
I still like his music
He's
at the end of the day.
Small. He's not.
Ben, you got anything or not?
I think people that have been, I don't think he's been like canceled per se, but he has been slightly blackballed. I'll say Wale.
Oh my gosh!
Oh,
did you
they
hear
don't
about
fuck
the
with him.
story about
What's he
Wale?
blackballed for?
P Diddy
Yeah,
pushing him up in the balcony because of Cassie.
Yeah,
That's
hear about
I'm not gonna lie, bro.
I agree with that.
Wale,
I like that answer.
disassociating from a MMG or Maybach Music Group, best decision for his life or for his career. Because I feel like they just were not supporting him the way they needed to support him.
Yeah.
they didn't allow him to release anything.
Yeah.
R.I.P. Wale.
He's not dead.
What's wrong with you?
Don't go ahead.
Yo, what'd you smoke today?
Bro, pardon her. She's.
But yeah, I think in terms of people that are, I'd say they're not canceled, a little bit blackballed because he was blackballed from the industry. It seemed like he was on that trajectory to be like a bigger artist,
Superstar.
Yeah, he had the music to back it up. He had hits like hits, and then out of nowhere, he just everything just
delaying his album, stuff like that. It's just I get you.
Crazy.
That's crazy.
Unfortunate.
He was going through a mental health thing, and I think that was around the time when mental health wasn't as highlighted.
When he got hung
they weren't supporting him.
Is that like the mental health thing?
No, that's not funny.
That was an entire different time.
And it's like, I feel like that might have took its toll on him too. Like, as
a man. I wouldn't think so.
Maybe Diddy got to him.
Maybe
he went to a Diddy party.
Shit, he probably did, but he had other stuff going on too. He was just in a bad mental state.
Yeah.
Dang.
Well, all right.
R.I.P.
Appreciate
Wale.
everyone's answers. Except Beyonce's.
saying RP.
Please stop saying that. Nah, but we're gonna wrap it up there. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. This has been the pickup.
Thank you for joining us. It's been the pickup.